Hello.
So today I'm going to do ayahuasca. Hey everyone. So it's the morning after my ayahuasca experience, the first one. So there's two. I'm doing one more tonight here in about 5 hours. So that was like definitely the worst experience, but I don't even know how to start. I have a lot of trauma from when I was a kid, I guess. Just thinking about being alone. That's what my experience was last night. Was I became this I knew everything about everything, and I was taking over the world or universe, and my consciousness was taking over everything, and everyone around me was dying, but they were all me because I had taken over everything. So I knew the future and the past, and I knew everything, but I kept losing the parts of it that made it them, because I took it over, so it was me. And the room started becoming dark, and colors were fading, and I lost everything, and there was no way to get back to this reality. And I thought I was gonna be there forever, and I was there forever. And I lost everything, and it's so hard to explain, but I thought there was no way that I could come back. But then I saw glimmers of hope. I saw my spirit guide grandma, I guess, and she was telling me, it was also one of the helpers there, and she was literally my grandma from the other side of the universe, I'm not sure, and she was telling me it's gonna be okay, and that I'm almost there, and I'm breaking through, and I'm getting through it, and I felt like I had to go and be alone and experience what it's like to die alone. And then I was blind, and I had to experience that for forever, and then I had to burn in hell like my dad said I would, and I experienced that, and I did that forever. And then at the end of the day, it was like I became Buddha, or whatever the next level is, and then I started creating, I looked at my hand, and I know the cells in my hand that are in there, and each cell has the information it needs to build an entire another me. So I saw glimmers of hope, as long as I stayed focused and didn't go off course, and I stuck with it after this experience of loneliness, then I can rebuild this world and make it a better place. And that's basically what my experience was. It was very scary. It's very pretty out here. It was definitely the worst, most profound experience I've ever had in my life. And I've done mushrooms, I did a lot of mushrooms last year, and they were amazing, and they helped me so much become such a better person and the person I am today. And it's totally changed my life. But this was like so much more, I guess. It's very difficult to describe, but yeah, without my husband, I feel like I'm so thankful to have my husband is what it boils down to. So let's see what happens today. So I wanted to talk about my second day of ayahuasca, which was crazy to say the least. So first day, I told you I went through 2 major traumas from my life. So first one was that, as you guys know from my book, which you can download for free if you want, I'll put a link in the description, but it talks about my sexual abuse when I was a kid for 10 years, and then I also made a video about it also. So if you want to watch that video, you can. But I went through, it was weird because like everything around me was dying in my ayahuasca experience, and then it was like just me, and then I had to pick up the pieces of like my soul, I guess, and put them back together and rebuild them. So I was like crawling around. I didn't know how to walk, and I couldn't walk. And then I had to relearn how to go to the bathroom, and I was just terrified. Like being in a different room in the place was like terrifying for me, and I needed help walking and everything. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then the other part was my grandparent experience, because even though I have 3 different sets of grandparents, so my mom's side, my dad's side, and then my stepmom's side, so both of my real grandparents lived over about an hour away, and none of them ever took the time to get to know me or visit me or anything, and I never knew that it bothered me, but when I did ayahuasca, like, I realized it really did bother me a lot. And there was a lady there who I just instantly felt like a grandmother connection to me. So that and we like sat an eyesight line apart, so I knew that she would be there to help me if I needed help with anything. So she was, and she did. And she would like tell me stories, because at one point I sat down in the kitchen with her and I was like, can you tell me a story? And so she started telling me a story, and she was just really helpful. So that was pretty nice. So I realized during that experience that instead of having like grandparents to look up to and to teach you things, I had to teach myself everything that I learned when I was a kid. So thankfully I had the internet to teach me those, and because you have your parents who teach you things, but you need someone else to teach you other things that your parents don't. So I didn't have that. And then my stepmom, her parents, I wasn't very close to them, and her dad passed away when I was like an early teenager, so like 12, I think it was around 12, maybe earlier. And then her mom passed away last year, which I somehow had I had this feeling that I should go visit my stepmom during that time. And I didn't know that she was in the hospital, and because she had kidney failure where she had to do dialysis a few times a week. And that 2 days before I got there, her blood pressure was too low to continue dialysis, so that only gives you a few days left to live once you do that. So she only had a few days left to live, and I just happened to fly there and be there with them during that time. So yeah, and then when I had to leave to go back to California, 30 minutes before I had to leave to go to the airport, it was just me, my stepmom, and my stepbrother. in the room, and she passed away at that moment. So she waited till the last moment that I was going to be there before she passed away. And I know that my stepmom wouldn't have been able to handle it if I wasn't there. So I know there's something that connects us all together subconsciously that we're not aware of yet, and I'm just now starting to figure a lot of this stuff out, and it's pretty crazy, the things that I'm figuring out. So definitely want to talk more about those things in a different video. But so that's what ayahuasca really helped me realize and deal with all in one setting. And it was the worst experience ever, but I'm really glad that I got to experience that and deal with those fundamental traumas being a child like that gives you. Even things you don't realize are traumatic, they are. So yeah, so the second night, I really should have went home before I went to the second night, but the second night was really hard, and I just resisted all the things going in my head. I just sat there second by second, just resisting everything because it was too much for me to handle, and that was really hard to do. But I made it, thankfully. So yeah, it was definitely a really good experience for me to go through, even though the experience itself wasn't very good. So yeah, that was my ayahuasca experience. I do recommend it to anyone who is like wanting to deal with their childhood traumas, who hasn't even realized they had trauma, I guess. But you have to be ready for it because it's not an easy experience. Like mushrooms, way easier to start with. So definitely, like, you have to be ready to do this. Yeah, that was that. So me and James is over there filming. So me and James are starting a new travel series for our YouTube channels, and we're going to upgrade our cameras and equipment, and I'm really excited to do this, and it's going to be really cool. There's a lot of places we want to go and show you guys, and like, I lived this super rich life for, you know, quite a while now, and I'm doing the reverse, living the not so wealthy life, and I'm kind of excited to see just how different it is, and how not pretentious, you know, normal people are. So I'm kind of really excited about this journey we're going on, and it's gonna be really cool. So yeah, right now we are helping a family. We're growing crops and like food and stuff at the house, and they gave us the RV to use whenever we want, like on the weekends, and they're really cool. So it's been really cool because we don't have to pay for anything. They have an apartment that we get to live in, and they provide our food, so it's like a trade situation. So it's kind of amazing. So I'm really thankful that we have this opportunity, and it's in a beautiful northwest Washington and Oregon, so we get to see all the places that I've wanted to see and haven't been able to. So it's just all around pretty amazing that we can do this. So yeah, we're thinking about going to Yellowstone National Park here pretty soon, so that's gonna be, I think that's next on the list. So all right, well, that is my ayahuasca experience. And I know it's really, you can talk about an experience, but you can't understand what it's like to go through unless you actually go through it yourself. And just talking about it is the only way you can like possibly have an idea, but you really can't have any idea what it is until you actually do it yourself. So if you do decide to do it, just make sure you're ready, because there's no going back once you're down that path. So, alright, well, we will talk to you guys in the next video, and me and James are doing a competition to see what kind of vlog each of us creates with the same footage for each of us. So I'm interested to see our difference in creativity to edit. So, alright, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.